Asking for what I need. That's what I want to talk about today. It's something that I've noticed that I'm not really good at, and there's reasons for that. But it's like I'm really not good at asking for what I need. It's not something I was taught, and it's not something that I've learned. I notice in myself that when I go to ask for what I need, that there's this guilt inside of me that comes up after I ask for what I need. It's like I feel guilty for voicing that I need something. And sometimes after I ask for what I need, I feel this need to almost apologize or over explain and almost kind of taking back the fact that I just expressed that I need something. I think in saying what I need, there's a two-step process. There's one, becoming aware that I need something. And then there's expressing it in a way that doesn't come off as me being an asshole. I think one of the fears that I have in expressing myself is coming off as an asshole. For example, if I'm in the car with someone and I may need silence in that moment, instead of saying to the person, hey, I'm feeling overwhelmed right now, do you think we can ride in the car in silence? I noticed that my mind will first of all, I don't even really recognize that I need silence for that example specifically until I feel annoyed by the noise. So it comes after, I recognize that I need something after feeling the annoyance of not getting that thing, you know? And what I noticed in myself is that annoyance turns into, oh, I'm just gonna have to deal with this. And I'm gonna have to deal with this turns into these passive aggressive, backwards comments that I'll make towards that person around that thing. So it's kind of like my mind is in a backwards way trying to get out what it feels like it couldn't get out just straightforward. So in a way, I've developed this very passive aggressive attitude and roundabout way of asking for my needs, which is weird. But it also just goes to show and reflect how much just that wasn't a normality in my reality growing up. Just being able to have needs and express them, whether they were met or not, but just to feel like I can express them and that's okay, didn't exist. So now it's no wonder that when I go to express a need, there's all this confusion about how to do it. Because I don't just want to be like, hey, shut up, stop talking to me, I need you to be quiet. That's not a respectful way, and it's not really letting the person understand what's really going on with me. You know? I'm over here chat GPT and how to communicate and say my needs. And it's something I've noticed. And I don't really know how to grow this, but I think I need to learn how to, number one, just be more observant about what I need and what's going on inside of me. And this is something I've thought for at least a couple months now, like this is something I need to work on. Because I feel like the more I am observant about what's going on inside of me, the more I can then express that and be aware and express it to the person that I would then be asking to meet a need, you know? And that guilt that I feel for asking for my needs is so weird, because what do I need to feel guilty that I need something? You know, I feel guilty for putting myself first. It's such a weird thing, like. But again, it goes to show, and it's only a reflection of how I felt as a child when these things were first being learned by my mind, you know? It's really interesting. Notice I got the same shirt on. I got a couple of these, don't worry about it. Yeah. So interesting, man. Yeah, it's something I've noticed within myself these last couple of days and interactions with people. What's also very interesting is the viciousness that comes, the frustration, and it's like I'm frustrated that I don't have a voice. But it's really my fault because I'm the one not allowing myself to have a voice. I'm the one that's not speaking out. And that frustration turns inward, and then it turns into these passive, aggressive remarks towards the other person, almost as a way to get them to do the thing that I would be asking them to do in a nice and respectful way. But it's almost like my mind flips it because it thinks it can't get what it wants just by asking for it directly. So it turns it into this passive, aggressive, roundabout way of, I guess, not even asking, but it's like trying to take it now. It's like, okay, instead of asking you, hey, I need a moment to myself for some space, I'll say some really slick shit around that I hopes will get you to like walk away, so then I can have that space that I needed. Which is also a reflection of how I've learned to get what I want, which is these slick, roundabout ways, instead of just directly asking for the thing. So interesting. That's a very interesting thing. There's an iguana swimming in this lake. It looks kind of crazy watching them swim. Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. So I think what I have to do is, number one, is just be more aware of what I'm feeling and try to pay attention more to what I'm feeling, what I need. And then once I notice what I need, give myself permission to ask for it. You know, hey, I'm feeling blank. Do you think we can blank? And leave it at that. It's so interesting because it's like all these things that I should have learned in my childhood, that like in a healthy childhood, a child kind of just learns these things because they have healthy reflections from the parents. They have communication abilities that they learn through interactions with their parents that's safe and is loving. It's like I'm reteaching all these things to myself because I never had this safe, loving reflection and interaction that I should have had in my childhood. And I think majority of people, majority of us did not get that safe, connective, reflective parenting from our parents. And I think it left inside most of us these gaps in our developments that we now have to go back, if we choose, because that's the harder path. We have to go back and reparent ourselves and reteach ourselves these things, or we live our lives with these ways of being that's really unhealthy and which really push people away from us, which what we really want is to bring people closer, is to feel love. But these, it's like we're stuck in these pockets of time from the past, and the way in which we learned how to express these things never matured past a certain age. So anytime these things come back up in interactions and relationships to people, we digress back to that age in the past. And we become these little children again in our actions. And we live that throughout our lives, unless we do something about it, which to me seems like the thing that we should be doing. It's a very interesting thing, and I'm young, and it's something that dominates my mind, and it's something that when I notice hurts me. So I feel it's my obligation to do something about all these patterns that I had to be in. They served a purpose. There's a doctor named Gabor Mate, and he writes a book called The Myth of Normal. And in his many podcasts, he always says that the things that we learn to do in order to survive are adaptations that once served a purpose. So the feeling guilty for having a need that I have, that once served a purpose for me to survive in the environment that I was in as a child. So it was important at the time, and it was an adaptation that my mind had to survive. But it's something that's no longer serving my current environment, but my mind hasn't updated the software and I'm still stuck in that past. So in a way, I have to rewire my own mind. So yeah, that's all for today. I'm gonna try to keep these like 13 minutes long. Thank you. See you later, alligator.